Instinctively, Desser addresses Romantika by her name. This shocks her since they haven't introduced themselves and questions if they have met before. This desolates Desser as the person he loves doesn't even recognize him. Realizing that he made a mistake, Desser apologizes and tells her that he saw her name on the announcement window where their names are written side by side. This must have been painful for Desser. I mean, in his previous life, both of them were lovers and now they are like complete strangers. Romantika understands this and wishes him luck for the entrance exam. As she leaves, Desser thinks back on how devastated he was when he lost Romantika in his previous life and vows that he will never let her go through such an ordeal. Following this, Lidorya apprises Desser regarding the test and tells him that he is a part of the Group D. He further tells him that the test comprises a race in the Erensty plane in the beginner level of the Shadow World. She assures him that even though they call it a Shadow World, it is not dangerous at all and the Shadow Worlds used at the Hebrian Academy are created for the purpose of tests. She further tells him that they even have a safety system in place and if someone gets gravely injured, they are immediately evacuated. As Desser is asking her about the damage aspect, Elheim interferes with the conversation and tells him that use of magic and attacks towards other participants is allowed in this test. He then mocks Desser, stating that someone like him can never pass this test. I hate this guy. He gives off that typical side character energy who gets his ass beaten eventually. Anyways, this infuriates Lidorya and she starts shouting at him. Elheim then introduces his mentee, Assist King's Crown, who is a magic knight. Why is she competing if she's a magic knight? Doesn't make any sense, right? Maybe she just wants to show off. Seeing Azist, Desser immediately recognizes her as a magic knight of ice and a high-rank mage. She even possesses vision magic, which is impossible to inverse even for Desser. For Desser, she becomes his most reliable teammate. After witnessing her stats, Lidorya gets jealous and starts shouting at Elheim once again, stating that he just got lucky with the mentee assignment. Elheim, however, insists that it reflects his personal virtue. Desser, on the other hand, is insanely happy to see his former comrades safe and sound. As Elheim and Azist leave, Lidorya tells him that his odds of winning against a magic knight are extremely dim. Desser expresses his gratitude to Lidorya before heading for the exam. Desser and the others enter a gateway that leads them to the Erensty plane. It is announced that only the top 3 participants will pass the test and they are allowed to use magic, interference, or any other means to pass. Standing behind the starting line, Desser wonders if Azist also retained her memories in this life and he still has no idea what she is thinking. As he is thinking all this, Azist addresses Desser with his full name, which shocks him. He asks Azist how she knows his name, to which she replies by stating that she checked the roster before the exam. She then reminds him that he is the lowest possible rank, possessing below par physical abilities, and even if he continues training, he has no future. That's what you call being brutally honest. She just roasted Desser without hesitation, lol. This makes Desser realize that Azist has not retained her memories. Azist assures him that he doesn't need to worry about her as she won't attack weaklings like him. Following this, the race begins and Azist takes the lead immediately, leaving others far behind. The other 3 contenders beside Desser and Romantika also leave them behind. Seeing Romantika, Desser couldn't hold himself back and passes on a comment that makes her suspect if he is hitting on her. Desser apologizes, but this pisses her off even more. Desser tries explaining, but Romantika is not even listening to him. My man is making things worse for himself. At this point, he is just like a stalker. As they are bickering like a couple, Desser notices something and pushes Romantika aside. It was a fireball launched at them by another candidate who gets pissed at Desser. The candidate launches another fireball at them, but this time around, Romantika counters it using a wind strike. Surprisingly, the wind strike overwhelms the fireball and takes out the baldy. Romantika reminds Desser that now they are equal as she proceeds to reveal her ultimate move, Arrow Sweep. Meanwhile, the management of the Hebrian Academy is happy with this year's lot, especially the fact that a magic knight is participating in the exams. They also mock Desser, who is a commoner and a part of Azist's group. The other 2 contenders behind Azist are pleased that if they keep up this pace, they will pass rather easily. Suddenly, a massive gust of wind blows them away. One of them attempts to resist using his sword, but all in vain. With this, Romantika has succeeded in eliminating 3 contenders. She then diverts her attention towards Desser, who seems like an easy target. She politely asks Desser to drop out as he questions the reason behind it. Romantika tells him that the face he makes pisses her off, which shocks Deser. He asserts that she's being too harsh, but Romantika tells him that she is just asking him to drop out before he gets hurt. She then points her finger towards him and threatens him, but Deser refuses. Romantika was sure that he would drop out, but this response shocks her and she starts mocking him. She gets furious and prepares to launch a massive attack on him. She warns him that it will hurt so bad that he might even die from this, but he can't die in this place, so he doesn't have to worry. With this, she launches multiple wind strikes at him, thinking that he will die from this. However, much to her surprise, Deser comes out unscathed. Deser tells her that she prioritizes speed, which reduces her accuracy, and this made it easy for him to fend off this attack. Hearing this, Romantika gets even more furious and launches another attack at him, but Deser utilizes the same method and diverts their trajectory. Romantika realizes that Deser is using an inversing spell, but this shouldn't be possible since her magic rank is higher than his. She proceeds to launch multiple attacks at him, but all in vain as Deser inverses them all. This guy is just bullying her at this point. He managed to inverse Boromir's magic. Romantika is like an insect for him. Romantika cannot comprehend what is happening and wonders if Deser's skills are superior. Deser, on the other hand, suggests that they should finish this off as he has other opponents to defeat as well. Romantika, however, is still not ready to give up and pours her entire mana into this last attack, challenging Deser if he can stop them all. Just like before, Deser inverses all her spells. He knows that Romantika is strong, but she is not strong enough to withstand that tragedy. He wants her to become even stronger, and for that purpose, he has to defeat her here. After inverting all her spells, Deser apprises her that she overlooked 3 different things. He tells him that he overlooked the fact that they are not being tested on their magic skills, but on whether or not they can reach the finish line. He then utilizes a spell to erase friction on himself and launches himself using Fireball. Within seconds, Deser approaches Aziz, who is about to reach the finish line. She realizes that Deser might cross her at this rate and turns back to eliminate him. She cannot comprehend how he managed to defeat Romantika and takes back her words when she called him weak. With this, she launches countless magic arrows at him as Deser attempts to inverse them. Aziz realizes this and makes sure that she finishes this before he could inverse them all. Despite countless magic arrows, Deser manages to dodge the fatal blow. Seeing this, Aziz combines all her magic rank to launch a massive arrow at him, but much to her surprise, Deser uses it to his own advantage. He adjusts the trajectory of the attack and uses the blast to launch himself to reach the finish line before Aziz. With this, Deser is the winner from Group D, with Aziz coming in as runner-up. Deser is finally reunited with his old comrades, but will they become friends this time around as well? To find out, make sure to like and subscribe, so you don't miss out on future episodes.